Warning, this video is not like other videos. This video was shot with a 360 degree camera. That means you can change the camera angle and move and pan around the video. Be sure to watch this video on a computer or a phone, or it's probably even best viewed on a virtual reality headset. If you have like a TV that you're watching this on, you should probably watch it on your computer or your phone. This video is interactive, so explore it. Feel free to go back and replay. It's more like swimming in a lake than riding down a river. You should experience it multiple times, because each time you experience it, it's gonna be like a different video. I'll give you a moment here to check things out and get a feel for things before the action on the video really starts to get moving. I hope you enjoy this visit to my farm. This place has a special piece of my heart, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you all. So, my name is Morgan Gold. I run a farm called Goldshaw Farm here in northern Vermont. I've been doing it for about 3.5 years now.
How are you?
I left a life in Washington, D.C., working a job that I really wasn't crazy about, and I wanted to find a way to start working as a farmer. Doing something very tangible, working with my hands, working with the real world, because the work that I usually had done was like knowledge work, where I never felt like I was really interacting with the real world. I was just simply pushing paper from one end of the room to the other, or sitting in meetings, or having conversations, or making speeches. None of that actually making an impact on the world. But when it got down to it, I really wanted to have work, like farm work, where I'm building things, where I'm nurturing things, where I'm creating things. And so that's what ultimately got my wife and I to pick up stakes and move to northern Vermont in the middle of nowhere and really start this farm. And so far, it's been pretty awesome. I've very much liked working with the animals. I've learned a ton of new skills. I've had some pretty incredible experiences.
Morning, weird chickens.
Quite possibly my favorite part about working on this farm is actually taking care of the animals. I love watching them, I love nurturing them, I love seeing how they interact with each other. I love how I can see the connection that they have with the land. I love to see the impact that they have on the land. Everything about the animals is probably my favorite part about farming. And you know, a lot of people ask me, why did I want to become a farmer in the first place? And I think actually a big part of it was I saw that, you know, there were problems in our food system. I saw that the small farmer business model was oftentimes unsustainable, while the large industrial agricultural model was also unsustainable. And what I wanted to try to do is find a way that I could make a farm that works kind of on my own terms, where I'm treating the animals right, where I'm treating the land right, and I can be a successful business. I think sometimes those things are often treated as mutually exclusive items, like they can't be done all at the same time. And so far, admittedly, I've struggled a little bit. I think I've had times where I've been successful, but I've also had a lot of big failures on my track record. But with a little bit of time and experience, I think I'm starting to get a rhythm. I think I'm starting to find a way to make this farm work. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it too.
Release the Kraken!
Quite nice to just sit back and watch the day. And that guy right there, that's Mr. Toby Dog. He's my partner in crime around this farm. His job's to keep the animals safe, and also he gives me a lot of companionship.
I believe the Metaverse is the next chapter for the internet. And it's the next chapter for our company too. So I've been thinking a lot about what this means for our company and who we are as we embark on this journey. company that focuses on connecting people. While most other tech companies focus on how people interact with technology, we focus on building technology so people can interact with each other.
You know, the other day I was watching a presentation by Facebook talking about how they were changing their company name. They wanted to build out the Metaverse, a way that's sort of a virtual space for people to connect and interact. It got me thinking about my own life, because at this day and age, in sort of a pandemic or post-pandemic world, I don't see a lot of people, like face to face. I can go weeks at a time with only seeing my wife face to face and interacting really most directly with my animals. That's not to say I don't speak with a lot of people, and not that I don't connect with a lot of people. I connect with thousands, even millions of people in a given week or month, whether it's by way of, things like Zoom or a Teams meeting when I do my day job, or as I make these videos and share them with people on the internet. I find that I am connecting with people, I am building relationships with people, but it's not like a face-to-face thing. It's not like a real, tangible thing. It's kind of weird, too, because I actually personally find it very gratifying to share my experiences and share what I'm seeing. I don't think I would have that luxury if it wasn't for the day and age that I live in here in 2021. I think being able to share my life, my way of life with folks, and share the things that I love, share the animals that I love, that's an amazing power that I feel very lucky to be able to have. As I go through my routine every morning, what I find is I see little markers of progress all the time. The shapes and shifts that I see in the landscapes, the changes in the seasons, the construction of new things, the growth of new things, the addition of new activities on the farm. Like just recently, we added cattle to the farm. And when those cattle arrived to the farm, it was a complete and unmitigated disaster. They ran away. I was unable to control them. I didn't have the skills necessary to control them, and I made a lot of mistakes along the way. But with practice and with time, dare I say I'm starting to feel like I'm getting into a rhythm and I'm starting to get a hang of it.
How my cows?
I don't think I'm great. I think I still have a lot of ways to go. But as I go out there every morning to spend a little time with the cattle, and ultimately in the afternoons when I move them to fresh pasture, I find that it's pretty incredible the bond and the connection that's forming. And that's something that's real world. That's something from me interacting with them in their direct space. But I also know that thousands of people have watched this whole thing unfold, and they've seen me interact with these cattle, and they've seen me talk about wanting to have cattle, to seeing the cattle arrive on the farm, to seeing me start to develop a relationship with the cattle. They'll ultimately even see me butcher some of these cattle as we continue to produce food for other people here on our farm. And that's something that's real. That's something that's tangible. That's something that's happening in the physical world. But the progression and the relationship that all of you, the viewer, have with those cattle, that's something that's, I guess, dare I say, meta. That's something that's virtual. That's something that you're not directly seeing, even though you're seeing it directly documented. And so when I think about the creation of content and art and story in this world of digital reproduction and the way that we all experience things now, who's to say that it isn't real? I mean, just take a moment here right now as I'm standing out in the pasture. Spend time with the cattle. Look at them. Look up close. Move around. You know, technology is now giving you the power to experience it from your perspective, not even just from my perspective as the video maker. And yeah, you're hearing me talk now the day after I actually recorded this footage, so it is a bit artificial, it is a bit manufactured, but it doesn't mean that the frost that you're seeing on that cow right now, or that steer I should say right now, isn't real and it isn't true. You know, look at the grass. You can see the frost on the grass. That is real and that is true. And that to me is pretty incredible to be able to share that. You know, about 4 years ago, I started planting trees on our farm. You can see some of them here in the background. And they're starting to really grow. Some of them up over 12, 13 feet tall. And the landscape that I once dreamed of when I was living in Washington, D.C. is starting to become a reality. And yeah, there's a lot more to go. But when I look back at recordings that I made back in, say, 2018, it's amazing to see the differences and distinctions that have taken place. And I feel very gratified to be able to make so much progress so far. And I'm looking forward to seeing where things go from here. I hope you've enjoyed spending this time with me here on the farm. I know this is kind of a weird video. Let me know what you think about it, and maybe I'll make more like this. Thanks for watching. Did you see Molly Barncat? She just rolled over like that. That's adorable. Toby doesn't want anything to do with her, though.